All right, hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation and blessings to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four winds of the earth that believe wholeheartedly the true doctrine is being pushed, who are in hope of mercy and salvation during the time of Jacob's trouble, as well as when Yahweh Shai returns to the planet Earth. To you and to you only, as always, I say Shalom, and may Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai continue to rain down grace and mercy upon you and your households. um, he's not going to stop, okay? He is not going to stop. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, of the Lord blessing us with this knowledge and understanding what the will of the Lord is, we can see his every move, all right, and even predict his next, all right. Now, this video here is based upon these chemical spills slash explosions, leaks that Esau Edom. That's all you heard, over the Memorial Weekend, and and even just this beginning of this week, you had an explosion of a food packing plant up in Washington State. Are these events random, or are they controlled, and are they a part of his propaganda? And I would say the latter, because these type of chemical plants are constantly inspected, all right? And all in all, Esau Edom has pulled the plug on Babylon the Great, all right? It's just a matter of time before the next main event, next great event, Black Swan event, T Attack, is going to forcibly cause people to be hauled into these different facilities, like they did down in Orange County in Garden Grove, California. They forced, well, it was a mandatory evacuation for more than 50,000 people, or nearly 50,000 people, all right? And they opened up shelters at different facilities. I know they did at the fairgrounds, the Orange County Fairgrounds, and a couple other spots, okay? And it was reminiscent to me, which on a smaller scale, of Hurricane Katrina, when they blew up them levees and they caused the flood to happen in that part of New Orleans. They put all those people in that Superdome, and the people were even saying afterwards that were in there, they were saying it felt like they were in a concentration camp, and they basically had to fend for themselves while in that Superdome. All right. So I believe through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Esau Edom is up to bringing this place down, and he's doing little subtle things that may seem, as accidents, you know, that he may not be behind. All right, remember, the scripture told us in Genesis, let's start with that. Genesis, the 3rd chapter, all right, that the serpent was more cunning than any, more subtle than any beast that the Lord had made, the Lord's powers had made, right? Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord's powers, which Yahweh's powers had made, right? And that word subtle, we've gone over this many a times, but we see this, we see him at work right now. All right. And if you can't understand and see this, that there it is. Subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible. All right. He caused something to happen to where he's mandatory sending out evacuations. And you can go to this shelter, you can go to that shelter. All right. But all in all, he's behind why you have to evacuate your home. Trust and believe you me. Nothing happens, just happens. This man is behind these things. All right. He's doing his magic on his left hand side, and they're moving so that they can establish this new world order. All right. And they're going to do it very gradually and very subtle until the people finally catch on and see what this man is doing. And then there will be rebellion. Okay. Prudent. Okay. We get the drift. Crafty. Okay. And that's what this man is doing. He's being very crafty with breaking this society down. Okay. Very crafty. Let's go back. And that's the point I wanted from this verse. I don't need to go, read the rest. But let me read this first line again. Now the serpent, and we know that the modern day serpent is Esau, Edom. All right. This is who the serpent is today. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. All right. And all of his little cronies that he has working for him, doing his bidding. He's the mastermind behind these so-called disasters. And there will be more. All right. There will be more. All right. Because the whole plan is to get the people to fall subject onto him. Okay. Whether it be through a so-called natural disaster, weather. All right. We know and understand that he has power over the weather with his weather manipulation weapons. One of them is the harp. All right. He has all this technology. This is how he's moving because the Lord made him that subtle. All right. Like the earthquake that happened years ago in Haiti. Who was the first ones there? The devil. The devil was the first one there talking about they want to help them. Haiti still ain't helped. Only thing that's happened to Haiti is that a lot of children went missing, right? And these devils went over there and had a straight up freak fest on the children. Okay? I never forget them damn devils. I believe it was Bill Clinton and George W. Bush Jr. They were the first devils over there with their red ashes, pretending like they were bringing aid to the people of Haiti, which is the tribe of Levi of the nation of Israel. And to this day, Haiti is still just that, Hades. All right, it's hell over there. They ain't bring no help. They seized on that opportunity to get children and do what they do with them, sacrifice them, freak off on them. All right, extract the adrenochrome from them. This is what this devil does, man. Okay, so when these so-called natural disasters begin to happen more frequently and very closer to home, you're not to go to where these devils telling you to go. All right, you're supposed to trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because they will get more frequent and they will hit closer to home. All right, ain't no way all these chemical plants in just a week, all of them are having problems. You had one major fire out in Long Beach, chemicals just being dispersed over the city and the people, okay, to make living conditions very strenuous and harmful for you to breathe in those contents. And then they're gonna offer you, like, well, you can go to this shelter over here. There'll be, safety, okay, just until we, you know, uh, uh, get things situated with this chemical or whatnot. And then when you come back home, you see all type of cameras and robots and shit. You gonna realize real soon that the devil has been operating right up under your nose, pretending to help you. Okay, when really he wants to enslave you and put that MOTB micro C hip underneath your flesh or kill you straight up. All right. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh's powers had made. All right. Now going back, let's get this AI overview. All right. Because I wholeheartedly believe ain't no way these tanks just got that old, and they ain't been this is an once a week at the least. These plants go through inspections because of the nature of the danger of these things. Okay, so this was the one here in Garden Grove. It was a aerospace plant. It says the incident in May of 2026, a compromised overheating tank containing roughly 6,000 to 7,000 gallons of methacrylate, a highly flammable chemical used for plastics, triggered a major state of emergency. Right? The impact, fearing which the explosion didn't happen. All right, it says, fearing an explosion or toxic plume, officials issued mandatory evacuation orders for nearly 50,000 residents across parts of Garden Grove, right? Cypress and surrounding areas. First responders successfully stabilized the tank, though the incident has sparked ongoing class action lawsuits over displacement and property damage. All right. So you had people, let me see if I can get some videos. Let's see, and we're going to watch this one too. This one actually exploded up in Washington State, or it imploded on itself. And I don't believe that's a coincidence. I don't believe it was an accident. I believe these things are happening on purpose. Okay. And plus, this was a food packing plant. Okay. Let's look at this one here. This is from Al Jazeera.
If you want to understand how things work, especially these days, just playing,
to another breaking story at the moment, a developing story at least, and it is in Southern California we can take you to. It's tens of thousands of people have been told to leave their homes after a chemical leak at an aerospace facility. A tank containing a toxic substance used in plastics production has been leaking since Thursday at the site in Orange County, just southeast of Los Angeles. Now, the leak is happening in the center of one of the most densely populated parts of California, just 61 kilometers from downtown LA. Authorities say there's a risk of the chemical reaching the region's water supply. Police officers have been going door to door to urge
a risk of the chemical getting into the water supply, which I don't doubt that it did. All right. This devil was creating toxic environment so that he can haul you off and get you to where he need to get you. All right, whether it be at Angel Stadium, right? The fairgrounds, like they said, okay? And there'll be more. There'll be more. This was just, uh, uh, a slight check to see how the people will react. But there will be more, especially over the summer, okay? Especially over the summer. Okay, over the you had drizzles of rain down in that area, which more than likely helped calm that thing down, right? But who's to say that that did not leak into the water supply? Okay, you had people all on social media that live in the area say it smelled like burnt plastic outside. Okay, remember the movie The Crazies, where the water supply of the town was infected and it caused the people to bug out. Okay? So let's listen some more. These are not accidents. I don't believe it, man. Ain't no way in hell. Okay? These are controlled events.
To leave. Now, John Hendren is live for us from an evacuation center in La Palma in California. And it's a position at the moment as the temperature heats up that things are getting even more critical, aren't they?
That's right. Authorities here in Orange County have just said that the situation appears to be getting worse, not better. Now, just hours ago, they told us there are two possible scenarios. The first one is that these chemicals will erode the container first, and that they will leak out and be contained then by authorities before they leak into the sewer system and the water.
Chemicals that erode a steel container. What you think it'll do to the body, the human body? Okay? Which I'm sure the inside of these containers are straight up eroded. All right. What you think it's gonna do to the body, man? Okay. You probably got people who sick and messed up right now behind this.
Some in the ocean and create a regional catastrophe environmentally. Believe it or not, that's the preferred scenario. The other scenario is that boiling chemical mix and the vapors that are expanding inside of that container will eventually explode and lead to a toxic plume above much of Orange County here in Southern California. That is the big worry. But I just spoke to a Congressman, Derek Tran, who said they are also exploring a possible third scenario, and they're sending in experts from across the country in order to try to achieve that. And that is somehow solidifying or freezing that material so that it neither leaks nor explodes. They don't know how to do that yet, but they're working on it. Meanwhile, we're here where there's a Red Cross evacuation center. This is one of many across Southern California because 40,000 people have been evacuated, and there's been trouble trying to find places for those people. Many of them went to stay with friends and family. Others went to hotels. But this happens to be the Memorial Day holiday weekend, so hotels are either expensive or unavailable entirely. And when that happens, people come to places like this Red Cross Center. This is where hundreds and thousands of people have been coming. But the problem is they're filling up. We just watched a few people be turned away from this one. They've got a capacity of about 180 people, and they are full. So the Red Cross and other agencies are trying to open.
So prepare for a lot of misplaced or displacement of people from their homes this summer. I see it. I see it coming to where things are going to be happening, explosions, water supply damage, like with these data centers in the South. There was a lady on, she was, I think it was Congress. She was complaining she had 2 jars of the actual water. Um, after they started to after they put this data center there, and the water was fucking brown and murky that come out of the faucet. Okay, so they are forcing people to leave their homes and to be pushed into what we know they're gonna have as 15-minute cities, quarantine centers, whatever you want to call them. All right, because they want to take over Babylon the Great as subtle as possible. Okay, this is what they're doing. All right, and if you don't understand and know who the devil is, you wouldn't think that. Okay, so that's that one. And there was another one in Long Beach. This one here, in Washington State. This one actually imploded. Let's see what this one is talking about.
Martin Luther King Jr. is an American icon, widely considered.
This motherfucking racist ass devil.
Society. Post-race.
Good evening. I'm Scott Goldstein, SCOTTGOLDSTEIN, Fire Chief with Callets 2 Fire Rescue. First and foremost, our thoughts remain with the victims, their families, co-workers, and everyone impacted by today's tragic events.
All Idumeans. These people gotta go. They don't know how to rule, right? And these people may not have, they may not know what the hell is going on. They may think it was a simple accident, but point being is these the people that's over us, man. Look at these devils. I don't see a pair of lips on any of these goddamn devils. These ugly, pasty, pink, goddamn devils, man.
I want to provide an incident overview. At approximately 7:15 this morning, emergency responders were dispatched to the Nippon Dynaway packaging following the rupture of a tank containing white liqueur. That is a chemical utilized in the paper making process.
Let's see how toxic white liqueur is. Let's look that up. Is that liquor or liqueur? No, that's liqueur. Let's see. It says white liqueur, the highly alkaline chemical mixture used in industrial paper milling, is extremely hazardous to humans. It primarily consists of sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide. Because it is a powerful base with an exceptionally high pH, it causes severe tissue damage. So that implosion, people breathing that in, and the people that died through skin contact causes immediate, deep, second and third degree chemical burns. Unlike acids that form scabs to limit penetration, alkaline compounds chemically dissolve skin proteins, allowing the chemical to rapidly penetrate and cause profound permanent tissue damage. Damn. Eye contact can cause immediate permanent blindness and tissue destruction. Inhalation, breathing in mist, vapors, or steam causes a severe burning sensation in the nose and throat. It can cause coughing, chest tightness, and a life-threatening buildup of fluid in the lungs, pulmonary edema. All right? So we get the point, man. All right? these harmful ass chemicals is somehow exploding and leaking all over these cities and states. All right, somehow they just magically start doing this shit. Nah, this is controlled demolition of Babylon the Great, and I'm gonna keep saying it. We're gonna see more.
Due to the scale of the incident, agencies throughout the region responded immediately and continued coordinated operations on site. This is a large, unified response involving the Longview Fire Department, Cowlitz 2 Fire Rescue, law enforcement, hazardous materials, medics, ambulance personnel, state agencies, federal facility personnel, and many additional partners, many of which are behind me here, along with our political team. Incidents of this magnitude require extensive coordination, and that coordination remains ongoing. We stated this earlier this morning, and I want to reiterate it here now. At this time, we state that there's no direct threat to the surrounding community. Again, there is no threat to the surrounding community.
Well, wait a minute. If that thing imploded and people were unalived, injured, and missing, and this chemical leaked into the air, may have gotten to the system, the water system, sewers, okay? How is it not a danger to the surrounding areas? We just saw how toxic it is to the human body. Yeah, all right.
Operational challenges. The recovery and stabilization efforts remain extremely complex due to the ongoing hazards. Earlier this morning...
Wait a minute, you just said it. These devils, they talk with a forked tongue, man. Point blank. You just said it wasn't no threat, but now it's many hazards. Which is it?
Mentioned that there was a roughly 80,000 gallon tank. That information...
That's a lot of goddamn gallons, man, of that chemical. And you mean to tell me there's no threat to the surrounding area? Yeah, people gonna wind up sick as a dog out here, man. Through.
Has been modified, and it is now approximately a 900,000 gallon tank of that white liquor process. After evaluations midday, we believe that there could be a potential of 90,000 gallons remaining in that tank. The tank remains unstable, creating a dangerous situation for our personnel, which has created our additional planning. Crews are actively assessing the structural integrity of that tank, and
we get the point. I don't want to keep listening to this damn devil. All right? Let's see what this one got to say.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thanks for being here. My name is Matt Amos, Mattamos. I'm the battalion chief for the Longview Fire Department. I have some updates on victim information. Today's incident resulted in multiple critical injuries and fatalities. Emergency responders have confirmed that 10 individuals were transported to area hospitals. 8 were employee injuries. 1 was a firefighter injury, and we have 1 fatality. Officials can also confirm that there's currently 9 employees who remain unaccounted for.
They were dissolved. You know what I'm saying? Body parts everywhere, juice, right?
The recovery operations, they remain focused on safely accessing all affected areas of the facility, recovering victims, and supporting impacted families while ensuring responder safety.
That's it. I don't need to hear no more. But we see what this devil is up to, man. All right? Unless you were born yesterday, okay, Let me see if I can find the one in Long Beach. Let's see. Not that one. There was another one. There was another one that they ain't even got on here. Okay, here we go. Boom. This shit right here. Wow, what's up, man? Okay, I can still check it out. This is the one in Long Beach. And this was just, even a brother got video of this. He was in Santa Monica. He could see it from Santa Monica. Believe it, he was in Santa Monica, but this is Long Beach. Okay? And this chemical was just leaking. Okay? Wait a minute, that might be the Orange County one. It said Long Beach on there. Let me see. It says California has declared emergency as crews work. The leak was detected Thursday at a pumping station in Long Beach. So yeah, this is it. Fire officials say the chemical leaking from the train. Let me see if I can find another one. That's off of, here we go, Long Beach. Find out what chemical this was. Okay. These damn commercials, man. Now like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's gonna be a lot more of these so-called accidental disasters, natural disasters that will cause displacement of the people.
Is Dr. Elaine Burnell. She's an expert in chemistry and biochemistry at Cal State Long Beach. Thank you for joining us on this Labor Day weekend, Dr. Burnell.
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning. We want to start with the tank's temperature that we've been hearing about. You know, crews have been continuously pouring water to keep it at 90 degrees or cooler. Can you tell us more about that? Is it really possible to cool down what's happening inside that tank?
So what's happening is as the water is cooling the tank from the outside in, so the temperature, the heat is being redistributed. So the cooling is making sure that the temperature doesn't spike, which is the issue that authorities are looking at right now.
You know, and they've talked about that sweet spot at around 50 degrees, which, you know, temperatures are rising, not going down. What is the threshold temperature before we could possibly see an explosion that officials have been warning the public about?
Officials have been warning that the threshold is at about 100 degrees. So this is why it's important to monitor the trends. Say this.
A lot of these chemical plants and whatnot are right where Jake live at, you know, in the poor parts of these different cities. Okay.
The remote sensing is important to monitor that continuously, so that way authorities, OCFA, HAZMAT can respond accordingly. What's happening is that as the tank cools, so MMA, methyl methacrylate, is stored as a liquid. And then as it polymerizes or solidifies, think of a chain reaction.
Yeah.
So as that chain link grows, and then those chains come together, the reaction actually creates heat. So that's why it's important to keep it cool. And as the water keeps the tank cool, it actually slows the reaction down to further prevent the reaction from happening with a thermal runaway.
That's just it. Let's go into that. You talk about that dangerous chain reaction that can happen when the temperatures go up. So on a smaller scale, maybe a simple explanation or example of that is like when a lithium ion battery gets too hot and explodes. Firefighters call that the thermal runaway that you just mentioned. Can you talk more about what that is and can it be stopped?
I ain't really saying shit. But that chemical, let's look up the chemicals. There it is, MMA. The chemical involved in the major Southern California incident over Memorial Day weekend was methacrylate. The hazardous leak and explosive threat originated at DKN facility in Garden Grove rather than Long Beach. Well, it was Long Beach as well. Okay? It was Long Beach as well. And she mentioned that when she was speaking. Let's type this in. See how toxic it is. Heavily used in plastics, medical devices, acrylic nails. It is strong. It is a strong respiratory, skin, and eye irritant. Inhalation, high vapor levels, or direct liquid contact is considered highly hazardous, potentially causing severe respiratory distress or nervous system effects. And people just out there breathing that shit in right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Breathing that shit in right now as we speak. I'm talking about that shit was leaking over the whole city. It was just coming out of that damn thing. It was on fire. I wish I had the video the brother showed me. Okay? So, pretty much what we're witnessing is Revelation 12 and 12. Okay? You know, you think he gonna come down having great wrath and he gonna show his horns, which he really ain't showing his horns yet. But he gonna show his horns. He's just breaking this society down. All right? To where you won't be able to survive in your city because it's toxic. You know, you won't be able to just breathe the air because he done made it very toxic, which will be easy to manipulate you and handle you. Okay? It says, therefore, Revelation 12 and 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Now, of the sea, I was looking at Democracy Now! Earlier this morning on my way back down from up north. And these motherfuckers bombed, they blew up another speedboat. So you can't even be in the oceans right now in no boat. Especially if you in you know, you look like you coming from Central, you know, or Mexico or somewhere. You in one of them little boats, they gonna blow your shit up without even pulling you over, questioning you, seeing what you got in the boat at all. They just blowing boats up now. Okay, the blockade over there in Cuba. All right, this is what this man is on. Okay, it says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, the people, and of the sea." If you out in the seas, all right, the devil is making his move. For the devil, the so-called white man, self-proclaimed white man, Esau Edom, the devil the Bible speaks of, all right, is come down onto you having great wrath. And he's disguising that wrath as of right now. He's disguising it as chemical leaks. He's disguising it as you trafficking drugs in the ocean, you know. He's disguising it as all type of so-called natural disasters or accidents. But really, this is him coming down with wrath, his great wrath. Why? Because he knoweth that he had but a short time. A short time to do what? To establish his new world order. And he know the only way to disrupt society is to pretend and to transform himself into an angel of light, causing these disasters to happen, and then having a solution, packing you in these different facilities. And while you in them facilities, they gonna do what they gotta do. You're gonna have to take that MOTB, more than likely a jump shot. And let's not forget about these Osiris's, the Ebola and the Hanta Fanta. All right, these things are still happening. So they bringing everything to the forefront, and then ultimately something is gonna give to where they're gonna really have to crack down and present themselves as the savior. But really, all in all, he's behind it all to deceive you to receive his MOTB. All right. So don't be fooled in these times, man. All right. The Lord has given us the eye salve to see. Let's get that. All right. I think it's one word. Revelation 3:18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, right? And that's what this knowledge has given us. And that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. And that's what this knowledge, all right? And our belief in Yahweh Shai, okay? And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. And that's, we can see. All right. The Lord has opened up our mind to this knowledge through his grace, all right, that he's given us. And we can see the devil at work. All right. And this is part of the battle. Knowing is half of it. All right. We know and understand what this devil is up to and what he's capable of. And now our faith has to wholly be in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Isaiah 33:6. Let's get that real quick. Okay. Because this is going to keep us stable when all hell continues to break loose. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. All right. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All them people that went to these different facilities over Memorial Day weekend, you know, you are being a guinea pig. All right. Not knowing what the hell is going on. And you're going to go along with what the Esau Edom, the government says, and that's going to be to your demise. As it is written, 2nd Ezra 16, where it speaks about they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and trodden underfoot. All right? This man is not for your good, man. But we understand 2/3 of you are going to have to learn that the hard way. But us hopeful members of the elect, we're going to use wisdom and knowledge that has been given to us to be our stability of these times. And of course, the strength of our salvation. The fear of the Lord is our treasure. So with that, man, I'm going to close it out. This was something, just real quick I wanted to speak on through the Spirit. Get something up on wax. Lord will was edifying and exhorting to the hopeful elect. Giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And we on to the next. Shalom.